Hey there, boys and girls. Lady Silver Vixen here. Um, Hopefully the lighting's not too bad this time around. But today I wanted to talk about music and magic. Um, I'm a flute player, for those of you who don't know. Um, and one of the things that kind of triggered this idea for this video was another friend of mine, White Wolf Heathen, playing on his violin. And the whole thing that I want to talk about today is actually how music and magic, you can use them together. Basically, for starters, music has actually been around long before even magic was. Music has been here, you know, not in our common sense of what we would find as music, but the natural rains, the natural beating of the ocean, things of these nature are all types of music. And of course, you know, the planet's been here longer than what people have, so music has been around longer than magic and even longer than what people have been around. Through the years, though, as we slowly evolved and everything else, the cavemen used to, you know, beat on different bones. They would beat on drums that they would make, things along those lines. And it's just slowly progressed through the years up to this point where we actually now have not only drums, but we have flutes, we have trumpets, clarinets, the whole 9 yards. If you are actually thinking, well, how can magic actually influence, or how can music actually influence magic? The only thing that I can say is if you've ever been to a concert, whether it just be a standard band concert at your school, or listen to the drum line when you were in school, and you could just feel the vibrations within you, and you could just feel the energy around you rising, that's the best example. Most of the time, drums are usually used to help raise energy within, say, a circle, especially if you're doing coven work, or when you're by yourself. Being a flute player, it's just a little bit harder, and the bigger the instrument, pretty much the harder it gets to figure out how you can actually integrate that particular instrument into your magical workings. I used to know a drum set player, and he was a pagan, and he actually used to cast his circle to include his drum set, so that way when it came time for him to start raising energy, he would just go and sit down at his drum set, and he would do kind of like a freestyle. Now with me, it's a little different. No different than anybody else brings their tools into the circle. Occasionally I'll bring my flute in. I don't prefer to actually memorize any kind of music beforehand, because when I go into a ritual, I prefer to do what I like to call freestyle. Whatever flows through me, flows through me. You know, it's a lot more moving to me personally when I'm working alone, and I do actually bust out my flute to work individually with it and actually build my own energy up within the circle while I'm playing. A lot of people have also asked me about spells. Well, how can you cast a spell? I mean, you're a flute player, you can't talk. Well, there's two things to that. One, if you want to talk, all you have to do is put the flute down away from your mouth. You can actually pause in between, you know, you're playing and actually speak. The other thing, too, is that magic isn't all about words. If you guys have watched any of my previous videos, you know this. If you've been practicing for any extended period of time, you know this. It's more about your intent and the energy that you build up and how you will it out that actually truly matters. I've cast several spells using my flute, and actually charging the energy that I draw in, the breath that I draw in. I charge that energy, and then as I exhale, it's released. I've actually played a couple of different things that I've done offhand to actually call in the 4 elements. Air was actually the easiest of all because air is very light, it's very energetic, and you just really want to move, 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 move. So, you know. Although with air, I usually use higher notes. I don't want to like blast the speaker. Fire is very fluid, but at the same time very fierce. I'm not going to actually do a fire one for you guys because I'm afraid that I would probably permanently ruin my microphone. Water is very fluid, very relaxed. When I actually visualize water, I like to visualize subtle tones. The low notes, for the most part, I usually try to reserve for earth, and those are usually very slow. Basically, though, guys, I mean, if you're really interested in the music, but you're not musically inclined, remember that when it comes to doing your spells and doing spell writing, if you like to write music, you can write music for other people, or you can actually write the lyrics more direct it more towards an actual spell. There's a lot of songwriters I know that are pagan, and that's actually what they do. That's how they write their spells, is basing it off of general lyrics that they could actually sing. And when they go in and they start to do and actually cast the spell, what they do is they actually sing instead of, you know, beating on a drum or playing the flute or any other instrument for that matter. But anyway, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this. It's not very often that I actually drag my flute out of the dust. I pull it out occasionally, like I said, for magical purposes, and other times just to kind of make sure that I'm still in practice. But I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all learned something from this. Go out and experiment with instruments that you do yourself. You may just find that instrument working isn't, you know, your forte. You don't know till you try, though. So, anyway, guys, this is Lady Silver Vixen. I'm signing out. Y'all have a blessed day, evening, wherever you're at.